Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I need to tell you this story. I was with a group of art therapists. I was speaking to over a thousand art therapists and people who support art therapy. Art therapy is for me, one of the most effective forms of therapy. There are many, many reasons, but art therapy is the reason I see the world the way I see it. It is the reason why I do the work that I do. My occupation, my calling, even though it hadn't existed, came through an therapy course in college. When my children were young and in need of therapy, art therapy was the therapy that we went into. Very often you find art therapy groups that the therapy is done in like group therapy, because there's so few. They're the smallest occupation in therapy, and yet they are so powerful and so effective. When my kids were small, our group was our family because we were so many of us. It was so many of us, we could be our own group. Anyway, it was extremely effective and absolutely marvelous. And it is magical. And I think it's because it brings so much joy, because it brings so much hope. So anyway, I had to make a dress. I didn't have to make a dress. I decided I wanted to make a dress. And I got their logo, and their logo was one of the best logos to play with because it had these shapes and things, and within it, it was the logo on top of the map of Pittsburgh where their conference was being held. And so when I designed it, it looked like an African print, but I wanted to place everything strategically. Well, we didn't have any electricity. So I couldn't use my sewing machine at first. And so I laid everything out to see what it was going to be, because I never know what it's going to be until I see the fabric and I let it be. It's a lot like art therapy. Anyway, I realized one of my fabrics was missing because the dress is made out of a silk, a jersey, and the jacket is made from denim. And so I was like, oh. So I wrote the people and they said, oh, well, the storms have affected everything. So I had to go out somewhere, and I came back home, and on the back steps was that other fabric, and the lights were back on, and I made my dress. And then they went back off for a little bit, and there was only a little bit left on that jacket to do. I saw yesterday in a sea of people who are like-minded and like-hearted, and you could feel the power of that organization, that association. I was reminded of my assignment to bring forth education and information and joy and hope. Sometimes people want information. They want the information you have. They don't want hope. They don't want joy. Sometimes people want you to pray and inform them and enlighten them, but they don't want hope. They don't want joy. And I realized that joy is that bright light that's given to us, those of us who will receive it, those of us who will accept it. It is given to us to be the beacon to help find those who can't find their way. I hope who have been given that gift of joy, that you don't lose hope in the midst of a storm, because you need it to help others find their way out. I love you.